The Premier League have finally released audio of the Saliba red card last month. I want to talk about 3 instances. You all probably remember in the space of a week, Van de Ven fouled the Crystal Palace striker. Should have been a red card. Saliba gets sent off against Bournemouth. Was given as a red card. And Tosin Adarabioyo brings down Jota. Should have been a red card. The audio has been released of one of those instances, which was the red card for Saliba. Now, unfortunately, due to copyright reasons, I can't show you the audio, but we are going to discuss the instances and react to what has been said in it. Now, make sure you go down, drop a like if you haven't already, and make sure you have subscribed to the channel. We are steamrolling our way towards 50,000 subscribers. So big up to every single one of you. We are just under 500 away from 31,000. Now, this is going to be probably a bit of a longer video, so make sure you strap in, watch the video the whole way through, get your comments in down below. Now, I want to start with the instance in the Liverpool game. Actually, no, do you know what? I'm going to start with the Saliba one. Now, as you can see in this screenshot, there is 2 instances here. On the left, you've got Saliba fouling Evanilson. On the right, you've got Van de Ven bringing down Mateta. Now, the reason the audio was released for Saliba, the audio says there is too many variables. He is nowhere near the ball, and Saliba is the last man. Okay, I don't think any of us are in doubt that that is a red card. Okay, I think we're all agreeing on that. I want to bring up the actual what the VAR Twitter account, Matchday Center, come out and said, and it says, the referee gave Saliba a yellow card for a challenge on Evanilson. The VAR deemed that Saliba denied an obvious goal-scoring opportunity and recommended an on-field review. The referee then upgraded the yellow to a red card. That's absolutely fine. I think it's a red card on the day. You know, he was last man. You could argue Ben White could catch him up. You know, he is in the actual screenshot of the red card when they're reviewing it. He is in the picture. Now, I want to look at the Liverpool situation. The Liverpool one wasn't given as a red card, and this was given as a yellow card. This was on the 6th minute at Anfield. Tosin Adarabioyo is the last man. Now, I believe, that may be Fofana or Cole. I think it's Colwill that's behind him. Now, as far as I look at it, if you're the last man and you bring a player down, it's a red card. For me, that situation where Tosin Adarabioyo brings down Jota should also be a red card. That situation in isolation, if we're excluding what happened in the Saliba instance, and if we're excluding what happened with Van de Ven, that is a red card. There is no other player in the half, but the reason it wasn't given as a red card is because Colwill was in close proximity to the instance where Tosin Adarabioyo brought down Jota. Okay? Now, let's look at Van de Ven's one. In the first screenshot again. As you can see on the right-hand side, Van de Ven brings down Mateta. The closest player is Destiny Udogie, who's 20, maybe 18, 20 yards away. And I believe that may be Christian Romero, who is behind him, which is probably 10 yards away. So how can we sit and say in the same weekend or same week, 3 different instances happen? The Saliba one's a red card. Van de Ven, who I absolutely love Van de Ven, I think he's our best defender. But that is also a red card. Now, the Liverpool one was reviewed by VAR. The Van de Ven one was reviewed by VAR. But there is nothing on the Premier League Twitter, the refereeing account, Premier League Match Center, actually talking about these decisions. Now, the Saliba instance happened around the 20th of October, so nearly a month ago. Why is it, first thing, that these instances take so long? So long. The VAR audio, they know the same day what they've said because they probably look back at the recordings and go through it, and there's probably an in-depth review. Now, Howard Webb has come out and he agrees with the Arsenal Bournemouth red card, and I think a lot of people agree with that. Now, I don't know off the top of my head if he mentions the Bournemouth and the I don't know if he mentions the Tosin Adarabioyo situation or the Van de Ven, but just looking at this screenshot, it's the same situation. Van de Ven's actually closer to goal. Mateta is away. He's brought him down. The distance between Saliba's instance and the Liverpool one is about 10 yards. So are we saying the only reason that Tosin Adarabioyo does not get sent off here is because Colwill is within 6 yards, 5 yards? If that's the case, I think it's bonkers. I think all three situations are red cards. So are we now saying Saliba has been hard done by? Are we now saying Tosin Adarabioyo and Van de Ven have been lucky? Like, I can't actually bring up the VAR audio because it's off the Premier League website, and they've blurred out essentially basically what they've said. But this is a number of instances. You think back to the Liverpool-Tottenham game last year, where there was a blatant error where Luis Diaz put the ball in the back of the net. I think it was Diaz. And it was overturned. In the same game, they get 2 red cards. And the instance happened 1 month before the VAR audio finally come out. And it kind of feels like that we're in a situation now where the David Coote stuff's come out. And I also think that is bad from a Liverpool perspective. I'll come back to the red card in the situation because I do want to address this David Coote situation, because it's now like if a red card, if a referee now makes a decision against Liverpool where he sent someone off or he's wrongly given someone a yellow card, which is in football, they're now going to be scrutinized beyond belief. Not only that, it's bad for the refereeing structure that what is going on outside of it. I genuinely think that Sky Sports coming out, Gary Neville, Carragher coming out and defending and coming to the kind of aid of, Coote. I understand, he's in the game. I understand he's a Premier League referee, but the instance that happened in the Aston Villa game where he does not send off Leon Bailey for blatantly hacking down Mohamed Salah, who once again was the last man. How is that not a red card? Are we saying the only reason it wasn't a red card was because Darwin Núñez went on to score? I'm going to try and find an image of Leon Bailey bringing down Mohamed Salah. Okay, so this is from ESPN's website. Another instance. How is that not a red card? I understand Darwin Núñez goes on and scores the goal, but the fact that David Coote didn't give this as a red card, if Darwin Núñez misses the shot, he didn't even say, like, when they do play the advantage. There was none of that done. He just played on. That is a blatant red card. You are last man. I think is that Digne behind him? He's probably, 7, 8 yards behind him? Martinez is nowhere near the ball. Salah is blatantly taking down. Like, are we now saying that Liverpool and Arsenal have been cheated or have they been robbed? I understand Darwin Núñez goes and scores the goal, but a referee, in my opinion, should then come back to the current instance and then foul someone. And then not foul. The referee shouldn't foul someone. The referee should come back and look at the foul. For me, that is a red card. That's multiple instances now. Let me just show you guys one more time. You got this from ESPN's website, which is a blatant red card from Leon Bailey on Salah. In the same month or so, right? You got Tosin Adarabioyo situation. That is a red card. That's also on Liverpool, right? In my opinion, that's a red card. You either give them all as red cards or none of them as red cards. And then you've got these two instances where you've got Saliba, who's sent off, and Van de Ven's not, but Van de Ven's closer to goal. Like, the refereeing decisions are absolutely diabolical at the moment. We need a major switch up. Whether that's going to be bringing in foreign officials, getting the Premier League employing another company, not the PGMOL, because right now their name, their reputation is being dragged through the mud. Like, how can these two situations, how is the situation on the left a red card, but the situation on the right is not a red card? And then you've got one, like Van de Ven is probably 12 yards, maybe 15 yards away from the penalty area. Saliba is probably 30 yards, right? Then you've got the Liverpool one where Bailey blatantly is brings down Salah, who's probably within 20 yards of the penalty area. So how, like, the inconsistent, I'm actually getting wound up now. Like, we've got, in terms of a product, the Premier League has got one of the best products around. We've got elite marketing. We've got world-class talent. We've got millions and millions and millions of fans supporting those 20 clubs. You got massive juggernauts like Man United and Liverpool and Arsenal and Chelsea and City and Spurs and Villa and Newcastle. But we have got some absolutely catastrophic red cards. Now, I don't know if the rule is that because Darwin Núñez scored, we then don't go back to the foul. But I've seen before when referees have played an advantage and then they've come back afterwards and booked someone. Like, it's madness. Absolute madness. Genuinely. Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to know what you guys think, but for me right now, I think it's hard to currently look at situations in the Premier League and see that there is not some level of bias going on here. It's absolutely insane. You know, the Premier League last year, they brought out, this was this instance from the Liverpool Spurs situation. And it says, as with all goal situations, the VAR team checked every aspect of the goal after an on-field officials has disallowed the goal for offside. So why are we looking at every single situation, every angle? There's so many variables in these situations. How have we got, whenever it comes out to a offside thing, it's taken blatantly serious. You know, we spend 2 or 3 minutes looking into the situation. Then we get an in-depth review from the Premier League. But at the same time, 3 instances I've just shown you guys where Van de Ven has brought down Mateta, Tosin Adarabioyo has brought down Jota, and Bailey has brought down Salah. How are those instances different to the Saliba one? If Saliba stays on the pitch, I think we all know Arsenal go on and beat Bournemouth. I don't know what you guys think. Genuinely, I'd love to know right now. I think they are very, 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 very similar instances. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed. And I will see you all soon. Thank you for watching. I am out.